All right, so I wanted to do a quick little video, man. I saw my boy Daryl, man. He was got himself in a little hot water yesterday. Put something up on Facebook, man. And I couldn't do nothing but laugh when I first seen him put it up, man. It was just like, man. I don't know if he gonna have, have what it take to defend himself on that thing, man. It was so many people in the comments saying crazy shit. I couldn't do nothing but laugh, but it's like the crazy part about it, is the fact that you got the Christians saying, saying against what he said, because what he said was a biblical statement. And it's crazy. It's crazy because it was older women in there too, It was, mothers in there, Older women. And it's like, imagine all that time we spent going to church and they weren't teaching us shit, And it's weird now, to come back and somebody my age, it's brothers around 30 and under who really, able to teach the Bible, where we've been going to church our whole lives and they was never teaching us shit. So I'm gonna touch on a little bit of it today. Just a little quick joint, just to back up what my man was saying, because I know he probably, he probably wasn't versed enough to, jump in and out of that Bible to prove what he was saying according to the scriptures, because there was a lot of women. I wouldn't say it was a lot, but I seen a couple girls in there, or women in there, say that they love God, but that kind of go hand in hand with loving God. So let's touch on it. He said, this is what my boy said. He said, all these women want to be wise, but not one of y'all know how to obey your man. And it was crazy that he got so much backlash off that, because at least he gave y'all an out, He said y'all don't know how, So if nothing else, he gave y'all an out with the whole, because it's one thing to know and not to do it. It's another thing to not be taught how to do it. So I felt like he was kind of giving you an alley-oop to be like, yeah, we don't, we ain't taught that, and that's why we don't do it. But that ain't the mindset of most of our sisters, But let's get it straight out the Bible real quick. I'm gonna start with Genesis chapter 3. I'm gonna start at verse 16. Genesis chapter 3, verse 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. So let's get the definition of rule right quick, because this is the law. This was the first law in that aspect of marriage for a woman to her husband. Rule, the definition. This is the verb rule: to exert control, direction, or influence on. To exercise control over, especially by curbing or restraining. To exercise authority or power over, often harshly or arbitrarily. To be preeminent in, dominant, to dominate. To command or determine judiciously. So, we ain't finna read all these. But y'all get the point, It's a basically he set up a hierarchy in the household, period, point blank. It is what it is. So just the same way men do at their jobs, when your boss tell you, hey, do it like this, ain't no back talk. You do it the way he said to, or you get the hell out. It is what it is. Either you want to do the job or you don't. It is what it is. Let's get some more. So that's out the gate. That's Genesis chapter 3. And I think a lot of women got a problem with it because y'all been dealing with wicked niggas y'all whole life. That's not our fault. That's y'all fault. Because a lot of the dudes that y'all go for, they don't care about nothing about this Bible talking about. So it's not about. And I got something to say on that a little bit later. Because a lot of y'all, it really ain't about obeying, because ain't no dude really out here being tyrannical, telling y'all to do crazy stuff, It be the simplest details of stuff y'all don't want to do. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 34. Let your women keep silence in the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law. And that law that he's referring to right here is Genesis chapter 3, verse 16, verse 35. And if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home, for it is a shame for a woman to speak in the church. Okay, so let me just give a little background, because it's not like, this is not one of them things where it's like that obedience was strictly about governing that person's body. You know what I'm saying? It was more about the spiritual aspects of it, what God say. So, okay, for instance, I'll give you an example. I say about a month ago, my wife was doing something. When I came in, I heard what she was doing. I was like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing that? She was like, what you mean? Like, she ain't think of that big of a deal. I told her to go grab a Bible. I gave her like 3 or 4 precepts proving that what she was doing was wrong according to the scriptures. She had no idea. You know what I'm saying? So I told her to stop. That was the first basis of the obeying thing, because when you go back to Genesis chapter 3, she was going against what God was saying, and Adam didn't tell her to stop. He didn't tell her, hey, we don't do that. That was Adam mess up. That's what he messed up at. That's why he's telling you right here. He said, let your women keep silence in the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak. Because I don't know if y'all ever noticed or not, it ain't a lot of black men that really go to church anymore. They got the hell out of there. The Christian church ain't teaching nothing. Continuing on, but they are commanded to be under obedience, as also said the law. So they are commanded to be under obedience, because at any given time, according to, you know what I'm saying, when you come to this Bible, most women deviate from what it's saying. Why? Because they don't want to do what it say. It's more men on the planet right now that are willing to do what the Bible say versus the sisters. So God already gave us the charge that, hey, keep your woman in line when it comes to what I said according to that book. Most women don't want to do it. It is what it is. That's why it said to make them keep silence in the churches, because a lot of them be wanting to teach. Reading on, but they are commanded to be under obedience, as also said the law. Genesis chapter 3, verse 16. And if they will learn anything, going back to what I just said, if they will learn anything, because a lot of sisters like to go off to, they want to talk to sisters, they want to talk to niggas that ain't got nothing to do with the Bible or nothing to do with what you believe in. They want to talk to them for whatever reason. If she will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home. That's where the obedience started. That's where the obedience started. If I'm explaining something to you in the scriptures, if I can prove it to you in the Bible, just do it. It's very simple when you think about it. It take away the accountability from y'all. If I'm telling you to do something, just do it. If I'm not telling you to sell your ass, if I'm not telling you to smoke crack, if I'm not telling you to jump off a bridge, if it's not gonna hurt you, what you bitching and moaning and complaining for? 3, no, for it is a shame for women to speak in the church. So it's one of them things where a lot of our, especially our older women, you know what I'm saying, they don't like the power dynamics of strong men. It is what it is. It is what it is. Because I got another precept. Just to get that point across with the ruling thing. You know what I'm saying? With the ruling thing. Just so we understand what that word mean. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people don't like the word rule. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna get it in a different aspect. This is Isaiah chapter 3, verse 12. He said, as for my people, children are their oppressors. And as you see in the black community, it is our children. Our children are pretty fucking terrible. Because ain't nobody teaching them nothing. You know, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy paths. Now, we can look at this one or two ways. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times in the Bible, it got double meanings to it. He said, children are their oppressors. When you look at the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, when you look at the people that do the most damage in the community, it's usually younger individuals. You know what I'm saying? It's because they have no guidance. They have no parental structure. They be in, and let's read on. And women rule over them. They ain't obeying, like, let's just be real. Most single mother households are not ran properly. It is what it is. That's what God is saying. The women are ruling over the households. And in turn, you got these children who are growing up to be monsters. That's what you're seeing. So that same word that God used for Adam and Eve, he said that her husband was supposed to rule over her. You turn it right around. God took the man out of the household. We looking at it, Isaiah chapter 3, verse 12. Women are ruling the household. Women are ruling the children. It's not working out. So the same way a mother have authority over her children, the same way a mother will give her children commands and they supposed to obey those, it's the same thing. Literally the same thing. Most parents are not telling their children to do anything detrimental to their own life. Most parents are not doing things. I'll say mothers. I've never seen it. I've never seen too many parents just tell their children to do something that's gonna be detrimental to their spirit, detrimental to their well-being. I've never seen it. And I seen this dude named Anton Daniels on YouTube one time. He said this. He said it's a benevolent dictatorship, and that was like the dopest shit I ever heard. Cause it was like I ain't never heard it broke down like that before. He said a benevolent dictatorship. I had to look up the word benevolent because I never heard it in that aspect before. But it's one of them things where he was basically trying to say, you looking at this leader like he's always gonna be looking out for you. Like it's not gonna be a situation where he trying to do something, he trying to do harm to you. You know what I'm saying? We don't look at men like that today. We don't look at our men like they have integrity. And I'm not gonna sit here and beat around the bush like most of our brothers in our community got integrity, because most of them don't. And we try to, you know what I'm saying, talk the sisters away from dealing with them type of niggas, but that's who they like. So it's like you can't, like, it's like a catch-22 where it's like on the one hand y'all saying this, then on the next hand you saying you don't like that. It don't really compute in a lot of situations. But it's funny to me because instead of actually trying to get an understanding, you try to shut the brother down. You try to shut him up. You know what I'm saying? You like shit. In a lot of them comments, they were telling them to be quiet. They were telling them to shut up. But it's like these same sisters will be in church clapping and stomping and sending their money up, but they ain't learning what the Bible say. Because I'm gonna just be honest with you. The scriptures say, "Why do you call me Lord?" This was Jesus Christ. He said, "Why do you call me Lord if you don't do what I say?" So how can you say you love God but you don't do what the Bible say? That don't make sense. When let's get another verse right quick, just to prove what I just said. This is 1 John chapter 5 verse 2. By this we know that we love the children of God, when we love God and keep his commandments. So to love God is to keep his commandments. That's period, point blank. That's literally how you love God. You got to do what he say. Verse 3, for this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. So a lot of times, right, because that's one of the commandments for the women, that you're supposed to obey your husband. Now, we're not saying that you're supposed to obey if he tell you to jump off a fucking bridge. We're not saying that. That don't make any sense. But if he telling you, hey, stop doing this, like I'll give you a prime example. Most men, when the sexual liberation movement started pushing, right, most men was conflicted or did not like the fact that women started wearing less clothing. And a lot of these men had daughters, and their daughters was wearing less clothing, and they had a problem with it. So they bring up the issue, and the mothers did what? Oh man, you acting like it's the old time. You can't just put that kind of control on your child. You gotta let them be who they gonna be, and da 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 da. According to the scriptures, that'd have been a no-go. It is what it is. Now we turn around, you know what I'm saying? The single mother rate going up, the marriage rate going down. Y'all don't think that was an issue? Y'all don't think that was a situation where they probably should have listened to the men? Because there's gonna always be some grimy niggas in the hood that's cool with knocking your daughter off. It's gonna always be some dudes that's willing to oblige the evil that you're trying to put forth. But at that original stage of that starting to happen, when the men were saying, I don't know about this, I don't think this is gonna turn out too good, we didn't listen to that. The modesty went out the window. When you look at the photos of us back in like the 50s, 60s, shit, the 70s, the 80s, it was not this raunchy shit that you see today. And that came in stages. It didn't go from y'all being all covered up to y'all going outside with see-through clothing on. It was a gradual thing. So when the men were saying, hey, don't do that, didn't nobody want to hear that. When the men were saying, nah, you probably shouldn't move like that. You probably shouldn't do that. Nah, I don't think this pastor teaching what he's supposed to be teaching. It seems like it's more of a popularity contest. Who could bring the most money? Didn't nobody want to listen to Granddad though. What, Granddad just sat there and didn't say nothing. That's what happened. Why? Because he thought he wasn't gonna get none. Why? Because he didn't want to hear her mouth. Why? Because those are the things that we was hearing when we were growing up. Our granddads didn't approve of most of the shit that started happening in our community. But guess what? A lot of them, their spirit was broken. It is what it is. So now we look around, we see the sisters. We look around, we see the sisters. They talk about how they not gonna follow a man, how men don't know how to lead. I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. When you look at the black community, when you look back in time, men leading was never a fucking problem. Ever. When you go through back in history, the breakdown in the black community happened when the men was taken out the house. When you get into the Isaiah 3 category, when the women start ruling the household, that's when you start seeing the breakdown in the black community. When the black man was running a household, you see more Black Wall Streets. That just is what it is. By the end of the civil rights movement, that's when you start seeing the black man being taken out the household. And guess what? It was the same spirit in Genesis chapter 3. You can be the same as your man. You don't need him. What you need him for? Same spirit. You can be as gods. You're equal. It's 50-50 with y'all. But that's what y'all wanted. The problem was never men leading. So now you get into an area now where you take the men out the household. Most brothers are not being raised with their fathers. So how is a man supposed to learn how to lead if he don't get to see it? I never see it being demonstrated. It's going right back into what Darryl said. Women they don't know how to follow. They don't know how to obey. They don't know how to do that. They hear the word obey and they automatically just think slavery. Automatic. But that's not what it is. Where did it come from? How? I don't get it. But it is what it is. It is what it is. But God said, let's get some more. Let's get some more. It's a particular verse I'm looking for. There it is. This is 1 John chapter 4 and verse 20. If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, he is a liar. For he that loveth not his brother whom he hath seen, how can he love God whom he hath not seen? So, okay, the scriptures say that man was created in the image of God, right? So how, in turn, can a woman say she loved God, but she won't do what her husband say? The same way Christ do what God said. When you read throughout the Gospels, he said, I do what he told me to do. I came to do what he told me to do. He sent me to the Israelites. That's what I'm doing. He whatever he say I can do. If he say I can't do it, I don't do it. That's what Christ said. So in turn, when you read 1 Corinthians chapter 11, it tell you that that God is the head of Christ, Christ is the head of man, man is the head of woman. We only do what Christ said we can do. When Christ gave us commandments on how we treat our wife, we can't deviate from that. When Christ said keep the Sabbath day holy, we can't deviate from that. When Christ said you're supposed to rule your household, you can't deviate from that. If you deviate from that, I don't know if any of y'all reading the Bible, but it say if you don't do what Christ say when he come back, you're gonna die. You in this grace period right now. It's good right now. You can, a lot of y'all just abusing it. But if you're not doing what God say when Christ returns, you're going to die here. That's what the Bible say. So yes, if you a married sister and you don't want to do what your husband say, you're gonna die. If you a married brother and you don't want to rule your household, yes, I mean you can't sit around and be as they say a band. You can't be a bitch ass nigga and let your wife just tell you whatever it's gonna be. You're gonna die here. Yes, there will be no bitch ass niggas in the kingdom. When the black man take back over the world, when Christ, that black man, come back, there will be no soft dudes in the kingdom. It is what it is. If you don't want to keep the Sabbath day, you're gonna die. If you don't want to stop eating pork, you're gonna die. If you don't want to stop eating shrimp crab, you're gonna die. If you don't want to put your household back in order, you're gonna die. If you a brother and you teaching brothers that you can go sleep with any woman you want to, you're gonna die. If you a brother, you like to lie, you like to, you know what I'm saying, you like to jump around from woman to woman, you're gonna die. So yes, that obey thing, it's not just for the women. The men gotta obey too. It's just like being in an organization. I have to obey my superiors. When they coming down hard on me, what am I not gonna do what they say? If he telling me something constructive, if he's telling me something I need to do that's not gonna be detrimental to me or my family, why would I not do that? I'm gonna obey what he just said. We see that on all levels. I even give you the example like this, because I play football. I had to obey my coaches. I can't even look back at high school. You know what I'm saying? When Coach Bedingfield took over the offensive line, I knew more about football than he did. It is what it is. I can say I was damn near a better coach than he was, because I was damn near coaching the offensive line. But when he told me to do something, I did it. Why? Because that's the order. He was still the coach. What, I'm gonna disrespect him because I feel like I know more than him? No. I'm gonna obey what he's saying. I'm gonna do what he's not telling me to do something that's gonna hurt the team. He's not telling me to do something that I don't deem is gonna help me, you know what I'm saying, do my job. It is what it is. I feel like men obey more than women. We just don't bitch about it. It is what it is. That's the structure. That's the order. But women don't like that. Women want, this is what I truly believe. Women don't want to follow, but they also don't want to take accountability. When you're in a leadership role, like if you rule in a household, you have no choice but to take accountability. That's why when Christ said you're going to get judged harsher to how you up you go in rank. If you the head of a household, you're going to get judged the harshest of your household. If you a husband, you got a wife and kids. If your wife and kids out of order, he going to judge you harsh, because that was your job to make sure they was okay. It was your job to make sure you taught them and guide them in the right path. Women want to be at the top, to be the guide, to be the one that have to teach everybody, but they also don't like taking accountability. You have no choice but to take accountability being at the top. Okay, so women, they don't want to take accountability, but when you're in a following role, if you are being led, it's easier for you not to take accountability, because you can always just say, he told me to do that. If your husband telling you, hey, I need this, and this done, and it's not detrimental to your soul, and you do it, and he don't like the way you did it, the easiest thing for you to do is, I did it exactly how you said. Okay, he gonna have to take that in within himself. He gonna have to deal with it by himself, because he told you to do that. That's taking the accountability off you and putting it back on him. No, you said that. I just did what you said. You can't come fussing at me if I did exactly what you said. We don't look at it like that though. We don't look at it like that though. And there's so many other places I can go in the Bible to show these things, but I'm not finna do no whole class about this situation, man. I'm not finna go through 20 precepts. Just, you know what I'm saying? This is a small thing, but it's a big thing when you look at how the black community is being ran. Everybody and their mama can see that the black community lack leadership. But at the same time, we don't want to do the things necessary to build leaders. And the first step to building leaders is keeping the household intact. It is what it is. We don't want to look at it like that because we feel like we gotta give so much credence to black women. We gotta give so much attention to black women. But it's like our community been going straight down the trash can, man, straight down the drain, man, straight over the cliff ever since women and took over the community, man. It is what it is. Everybody mama can see that our men are weak as hell. Everybody can see it. All of our men weak as shit mentally. We can't. We scared to speak. We scared to speak our mind. We scared to tell the truth. This is something that your father teach you. And why do I say that? Because most women don't like the truth. Most women don't like to take accountability. So if you a man being raised by a person that don't like to take accountability, what are you gonna grow up to do? Not take accountability. As a man, growing up, learning his Bible, you ain't got no choice but to be honest with yourself. Because if you don't, you're gonna die. God say, lying lips are abomination. If you a grown ass man and you can't tell yourself the truth, like, nah, I messed up on that. I probably need to change the way I'm doing this. Okay, nah, I can do this a little bit better. You know, okay, yeah, I probably shouldn't do it like that. I probably need to do it like that. Okay, reading the scriptures. Okay, God do say do it like that. Let me try that. If you can't do that, you're gonna die. If you can't be self-aware and tell yourself like, nah, that was some bullshit. I mean, I probably need to change that. Yeah, I messed up on that. I need to go and change that. Most women don't want to do that. So how is the community gonna get any better when your leadership, which is the black women right now, don't want to take accountability, don't want to say, yeah, I probably made a mistake in this area. Yeah, I probably fucked up right there. Yeah, I'll fix it. I'm about to fix it. Yeah. And that was the problem back in Genesis chapter 3, verse 16, because Adam didn't do his job. Adam didn't say, hey, sis, now you know you shouldn't be talking to old boy. You know what he just told you, some bullshit. Go sit down. Now you know I ain't teach you that. I ain't teach you that. Who told you to talk to him? Why are you talking to him in the first place? Adam didn't do that. So now you got Adam pointing the finger at God saying, hey, you made her. You got Eve pointing the finger at the dude who taught her the bullshit. Ain't nobody taking accountability. What God said to Adam, because you listen to your wife, do your job. It's your job to be a hedge over your wife. Hey, we don't do idolatry in here. We don't cook on a Sabbath day in here. Put that fucking pork back. We don't buy that. Nope. That's not godly. We don't do that here. It is what it is. No mini skirts. We dress modestly around here. Only princesses dress modestly. We don't do that. We don't do that horse stuff that these other women do. We don't do that. Oh no, we don't do girlfriends. Nope. We're not whoremongers. We don't do that. Oh damn, you telling lies? Oh, we don't do that lying stuff in here. Nope. Nope. We don't do that here. Nope. We don't do that here. And we're missing that in the black community. We're missing fathers who's willing to stand up and say, hey, we're not doing that. Because we can look back and see where our forefathers, they was quiet. They wouldn't say shit. They literally let shit get out of control. It bothered me to this day when I'm walking in a store or something. It's a man walking with his wife and kids, and his wife and his daughters are dressed out of order. It bothers me because I would expect that if she was a single mom and you know what I'm saying, she got her little hot girl shit going on, so she let her daughter do her hot girl shit. That okay, I can understand that. But you're a grown ass man letting your daughter walk around looking like a thought rocket. Then you wondering why she pregnant at 16. I don't get it. You weak, nigga. You weak. Put your damn household in order. And that's one of the reasons why sisters don't, they feel like they can't follow our men. But this the problem. They was being taught by the damn women. How would you expect? I know most people probably turned this damn video off because they like, man, I can't believe why you talking like this. Man, look, man, y'all ain't read the Bible, man. Our forefathers were some hard-nosed dudes, man. Christ was an austere man. People were scared to ask him questions. Why? Because he stood on what God said, period, point blank. It wasn't no deviating from what he said. It say what it say. I don't like going to work every day, but guess what? 2 Thessalonians say I got to go to work. Genesis chapter 3 say I got to go to work. By the sweat of my brow, by the sweat of my face, I got to eat bread. It is what it is. I can't deviate from what it say. 1 Timothy 5:8 say I gotta take care of my household. Any man that don't take care of his household is an infidel. That means you don't even believe in God. I can't deviate from that. The scripture says I gotta love my wife like I love my own flesh. I wouldn't do no damage to my own flesh. I can't deviate from that. It is what it is. The scripture says I gotta train up a child. Okay, so when I see something going wrong in my household, hey, come here. Hey, why you say that? No, we can't move like that, man. Hey, you know you just told a lie, right? We don't do that here. We don't do that lying stuff. It was a small little white lie. No, we still don't do that. We don't do that. No, we don't do that. Let's get one more. I'm gonna end it off on this shit right here, man. I'm gonna end it off right here. Just to give a little. This is Genesis chapter 18, verse 19. For I know him, that he will command his children and his household after him, and they shall keep the way of the Lord, to do justice and judgment, that the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he hath spoken of him. Now, you got to think about what he's saying, you know what I'm saying? Because if he's commanding his household, they got to obey what he's saying. It's not a suggestion. A command is not a suggestion. But listen to what he said. He said, for I know him that he will command his children and his household after him. So like the scripture says, he said you're supposed to have a wife after your mind. So if I'm willing to die about the commandments, she got to be willing to do the same. She can't be deviating and wavering about what God said. It won't work. So he said, and his household after him. So whatever he's doing, they have to do. Read on. And they shall keep the way of the Lord, because that's the point. That's really the foundation of what that obey stuff is talking about. The way of the Lord. You're supposed to be doing the way of the Lord. So he's commanding his children and his household in the way of the Lord. Either you're gonna obey or you're gonna die. That's what the Bible says. And that's go for men and women. Either you're gonna obey, you're gonna die. It is what it is. You know, to do justice and judgment, that the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he had spoken of him. Because you got to think about what he just said right there. Now, he loved Abraham. The Most High loved Abraham. So he said Abraham was going to command his children and his household after him. Right? This last part, he said that the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he hath spoken of him. So imagine if Abraham was not commanding his children and his household after him in the way of the Lord. If he wasn't teaching the way of the Lord in his household, that last part would not have happened. The last part, he said that the Lord may bring upon him. It wouldn't happen. If he wasn't doing that first bit, teaching his children and his household the way of the Lord, that the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he hath spoken of him. You looking at the black community falling by the wayside and ain't nobody doing what God said. So you read Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Deuteronomy, Numbers, it's a lot of stuff in there where God said we were supposed to do certain tasks, certain laws, statutes, commandments to get blessings. We do none of those things and we bitch, moan, and complain about getting the curses when we won't do what he say. Make it make sense, man. Hey, man, let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. I'm out, man.